Welcome to the Eczema Warrior podcast. I'm your host, Julia Chen. I'm here to help you heal your eczema naturally so you can finally live your best damn life. Many years ago in my own eczema healing journey, I was stuck and confused on how to heal my skin. Fast forward to today, after many lessons learned and lots of trial and error, I'm now living my best life and traveling the world with clearer skin. If you're an eczema or TSW warrior who desires a life of food freedom and is wanting to heal your skin without steroids while using mindset and manifestation as a tool, you're in the right place. Now let's get into it. Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of the Eczema Warrior podcast. I am actually extremely tired today. I almost forgot to record today's episode. It's been a wild week, you guys. Over the last week, I've been having discovery calls for CYE, doing lots of coaching, doing a lot of content planning, and I just feel extremely tired from a busy week with work, but also just because I've been traveling and exploring Mexico City, so trying to kind of balance everything, but really realizing that I probably just need a little bit of a break from work. So actually, today was a really nice day because my friend just got to Mexico City from Vancouver and we did this amazing hot air balloon tour. It was absolutely stunning. It's a very famous tour where people come and obviously get on the hot air balloon, and then we float over the famous pyramids here in Mexico City. So we did that today and got lots of cool pictures. We're just waiting for our drone video to come in and I can't wait to share it with you guys. And then next week, more of my friends are coming from Vancouver and it's going to be a lot of fun, lots of good restaurants we're trying. And I think next week, I'm definitely going to lay low in terms of content and just not really going to show up. I feel like I need some time to just do me for now. But let's talk about today's episode. That was a little bit of a life update. Nothing too crazy, just living here in Mexico City and then actually flying out sometime next week. So I'm excited to move on to my next adventures. Okay, so this week's episode is going to be all about how to heal your gut. This is something that we commonly do in practice because there's a huge connection between your skin and your gut. Now, there's a lot of things I want to say here when it comes to healing your gut because there isn't really the one way when it comes to how to heal. And oftentimes people do kind of get confused in terms of like what to do because there's like these supplements and there's like diets to be on and stuff like that. So I'm going to be teaching you the 4R approach. This is commonly used by practitioners who help people with their eczema, but also just with gut healing as well. So what exactly is the 4R approach? So the 4R approach is basically a step-by-step process in healing your gut naturally through nutrition, through diet, and through supplements. The very first R means remove. So remove means that we want to remove anything from your lifestyle, anything from your diet that could be causing inflammation, whether it is stress, alcohol. Some people experience flares with dairy, with gluten, maybe even sugar and processed foods. We want to remove things from your lifestyle and from your diet that could be causing inflammation. And the very first step here usually takes some time because depends on where you're at with your diet and with your stress. It might take time for you to slowly make those changes when it comes to that. So once you give yourself, a few weeks or even a couple months, then the next phase of the 4R approach is replace. So replace is basically when you want to replace what's missing. So a lot of times people with skin issues, eczema, and flares have issues with digestion. So even though you have regular bowel movements, you don't have any gut symptoms, doesn't necessarily mean that you don't have gut issues. And one of the most common root causes is gut dysfunction. So people can't actually break down the foods that they're eating. That's why you commonly see people who eat all organic, they try to eat healthy, they are like super clean when it comes to their diet, but they're still experiencing flares. And one of the reasons is because that even though they're getting all these amazing nutrients from the food, their body actually isn't breaking down the foods enough for the body to absorb the nutrients. So this is why you want to replace what's missing, meaning the digestion. that often people struggle with. So in this phase of the 4R approach, we often use digestive enzymes, and there are so many different kinds when it comes to brands and what's inside and, the ingredients and things like that. And so being careful with what you choose for your digestive enzyme is really important. Usually you want to choose an enzyme that is a full spectrum enzyme. So it breaks down protein, fats, and carbohydrates. So making sure that you are aware of what you're looking for, seek out to your practitioner, or when you go to the health food store, ask someone who may be able to help you with this. In addition to this phase as well, of course, we're not only relying on supplements to help with your digestion, like your lifestyle is really important too. Digestion starts in your mouth, okay? So making sure you're chewing your food very well, you're slowing down when you eat, you're not stressed when you eat, because all of that can impact your digestion. And taking an enzyme won't help if you don't have good habits. So once you are optimizing your digestion, you're getting better at digesting your food, you're noticing less digestive symptoms. Let's say you're experiencing bloating and gas, maybe you're experiencing food in your stool, and things seem to be getting better in terms of how you're digesting your meals. Then the next phase of the 4R approach is Reinoculate. So this is when you want to start flourishing the gut microbiome with good probiotics, because your microbiome is really important when it comes to skin healing. The less diversity you have, the more bad bacteria you have in your gut, the more challenging you're going to notice when it comes to healing your skin because of the gut-skin connection. What it looks like in your gut is going to be what it looks like in your skin. They often say that your skin is a reflection of what's going on in the gut. So we want to make sure that we're not only optimizing digestion, but we're also adding in some good quality probiotics, making sure you're choosing the right ones as well, because there's so many different kinds out there as well. And including lots of foods with lots of variety. One of the biggest mistakes when it comes to healing eczema is having to go on these really strict elimination diets. And I've definitely talked about this in another episode. If you check out episode 21, I talk about why you need to stop elimination diets for eczema healing. And tying into this episode is that when you are too restrictive, you're not getting enough diversity in your diet. And the less diversity you have in your diet, the more detrimental it's going to be on your gut microbiome. So you're going to see much more skin healing when your microbiome is flourishing, when you're adding lots of fiber in your diet, you're taking good quality probiotics, and just try to be as diverse as possible. And this is what Reinoculate phase basically means, is trying to improve the microbiome, getting more diversity, eating more prebiotic foods, which are found in fruits and vegetables, for example, asparagus, bananas, berries, those kind of things, is going to help a lot in just improving the gut lining, reducing gut inflammation, and even getting rid of the bad bacteria as well. So making sure that you're basically just eating as much variety as possible. So those are the 3 R's. So we've talked about remove, we talked about replace, we talked about reinoculate. And then the very last phase of the 4R approach is repair. So in the repair phase, this is basically when you repair the gut lining. So because of previous history, like for example, a processed food diet, lots of stress in your life that's unmanaged, or previous antibiotic history, all of that can damage the gut lining. And when your gut lining is damaged, this is when you experience something called leaky gut. And when you have leaky gut, basically what happens is the foods that you eat tends to leak out of the gut lining into the bloodstream. And it's not just food. It could be like bacteria and other toxins kind of get released throughout the gut lining that should be able to stay within the gut lining, ends up leaking through into your bloodstream. So what we want to do in the very last phase of the 4R approach is to repair the gut lining with nutrients. So we can do this through diet. And again, it's all about variety, but we also recommend supplements too for the repair phase. So we're a big fan of using herbs to help with that. For example, aloe vera is really good. MSM is another one. Collagen is not an herb, but can be also helpful for gut healing. So those are some examples when it comes to repairing the gut lining. Sometimes we use L-glutamine, but I'm cautious of recommending L-glutamine because It's not the end all be all. And oftentimes people just recommend L-glutamine on its own. And I have found that it doesn't do as good of a job compared to getting a gut healing repair powder that includes other nutrients as well. So for example, one of the brands I actually really like is called Designs for Health. They're a Canadian brand and they have a really good gut healing powder called GI Revive. And it's actually one of my favorites. It has aloe vera, it has L-glutamine, it has slippery elm, marshmallow root, quercetin, MSM. It's like a blend of ingredients. And I often recommend this to my clients who have been doing the 4R approach for a while. And this is basically the last step. So I'll often add this later on in their healing journey. Now, when it comes to each and every phase of the 4R approach, honestly, every practitioner does it really differently. Some practitioners will do them all simultaneously. Other practitioners will focus on one phase for a while and kind of mix and match and have their own way in terms of the order of healing. So there is no right or wrong. For me, I like to kind of do it in order. So it depends on the person. Some people need to take more time when it comes to focusing on the remove phase. Other people need more time to focus on digestion and working on the gut microbiome. So to each their own, and everyone's body is very different. That's why I seldom recommend specific supplements, or I say, oh, you got to do this for 2 months, or you have to take these supplements for 3 weeks, because everyone's body is just so different. It's just, you can't really say which ones to take, or you can't really recommend specific dosages or the length of time when it comes to supplements, because there's just so many factors when it comes to that. But that being said, if you are trying to heal the gut, I highly encourage you to look into the 4R approach. It's a great way into starting off your gut healing journey. And remembering that the idea is to get more variety in your diet. If you want to heal your gut, focus on improving your digestion, not just through taking an enzyme, but your lifestyle habits, getting lots of prebiotics and probiotic foods into your diet. And the difference between the two, by the way, is prebiotics are basically foods for the good bacteria. And they're basically fibrous foods. So fruits and vegetables, beans and legumes, those are all good sources of prebiotics. Probiotics are actually live bacteria. So you get probiotics from specific foods, for example, fermented foods, miso, kimchi, kombucha, tempeh. Those are examples of foods that have live bacteria in them. So it's good to have both in your diet because you have the prebiotics to feed the good bacteria, but you're also eating live bacteria as well, which come from food, but also come from supplements as well. So a little bit of everything is going to help with your gut healing journey. Okay, that's what I have today for today's episode. I hope you found it helpful in terms of where to start when it comes to healing the gut, using the 4R approach and following that step by step and looking deeper into that online if you need to. And if you need more support when it comes to this is exactly what we do inside coaching. I help my clients not only figure out how to heal the gut, but I help them with meal planning, with their diet, with selecting supplements for each phase of the gut healing approach, and teaching them exactly what to do when it comes to healing that. Not only this, we also focus on the other aspects of eczema healing. We talk about mindset, which is the biggest component when it comes to clear eczema. We're really big on manifestation, we're really big on meditation and journaling and all the great things. And if you're looking for support when it comes to that, you know where to find me. You can apply for coaching in the show notes below. We actually opened up a few spots for one-on-one coaching. So if you're looking for more of the customized approach, then we highly recommend that. All right, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day and your evening, and we'll catch you in the next episode. Thanks for tuning in to today's episode. Now, before I let you go, I want to let you know I have this amazing eczema visualization. This visualization has helped me so much when it comes to manifesting eczema healing flares faster than I can ever imagine, reducing the itch, and just feeling great in my body. This is the exact same visualization I use for my own healing as well as my clients' healing as well. And if you want to receive this visualization, then all you have to do is leave us a review and Tell us what you think about the podcast. Screenshot it, send it to your email at hello@juliachin.ca, and you will receive the visualization to your inbox. I look forward to seeing your review, and we will see you in the next episode.